Still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30.
Yeah, really I should probably sign a head, boy, because I got all the heads, boy. All that Drake, you got to chill. I be on my little mouse drip.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Irving to start the drive. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That good for 22 and a first down.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts, because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
The Bucs at 2-0 here to begin the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
A shotgun handoff here to Irving. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. This defense for the Broncos, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Cam Little on for the field goal. A 54-yard attempt.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Looking to put a drive together. Now the Central Florida product is R.J. Harvey. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. This unit coming into this one ranked number 20 against the pass in the NFL.
With their lack of pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league. So there's the conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
Nix to the air. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Nix. And it's caught on his sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, So a big call there that brings up fourth.
Fourth down.
So a good challenge there. The look pretty conclusive. The feet were in, and it's a completed pass. On first down, Broughton looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Off the play fake, here's Nix. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 35. 14 yards that time for number 14.
And the Broncos first down.
To throw, here's Nix. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Now a handoff up the middle. Broughton. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Here's Nix. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 17-yard line. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd. Throwing Nix. He finds his man complete. It's Mullins. So the completion good for just 3. And it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Up the middle they go. Mullins. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To throw is Nix. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Evan Ingram with career touchdown number 60. And the Broncos are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Dragon 6, come back 6, 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick.
2nd and 1. That's complete. It's Jalen Noel. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Ready?
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Back to throw. Foster. Now he's going to step up and run. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. He rifles one, and it's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This offense, thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
Nix from the shotgun. He's going to float this one deep right side. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And the Bucs will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
44 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
First down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
And they run the option here on first and 10. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Handoff running left, Irvin. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here, a little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Foster. This pass deep for Okonkwo. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Elijah Molden. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
Partner, have you ever heard the story of Icarus in mythology? That's the guy who flew too close to the sun and had his wings melted. That was our guy right there. Keeps pressing it and pressing it. Finally, on that throw, he paid the price with that turnover.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Two yards to go, 2nd down. Looking to throw. Nix. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred the defense.
46-yard line.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He finds his man complete. It's Romero. Just a gain of a couple there. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Working out of the gun is Nix. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Hey, 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Trap 60, trap 60.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up fourth down.
Mitch Wishnowsky in punt formation.
Wishnowsky on to punt as he sends this one away. Fair catch called for in May, but now we'll have to see about the penalty. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play. Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Here's Foster operating from the gun. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up third and 8.
The Bucs on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is third and 8. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Foster. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Second and inches at the 21-yard line.
Here we go, check. Ready.
A run up the middle with Irving. And he'll get it down this time to 17. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Ready, ready. 70 Razor, 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Go.
They go play action here on first down. Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
Okay, ready?
2nd and 10.
Let's go now. Street, street. Ready, ready.
Straight ahead, it's Irvin. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
The 16-yard line.
Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Ready. Like it.
Foster now from the gun on third down. And he'll just get rid of it. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So we're back to a one-point game now as the kickoff comes. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Nix. Open man right side is Ingram. 7 yards there and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll run on first down. Broughton. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Looking to throw. Nix. He finds his man complete. That's Romero. Down the sideline he goes. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close. A big play there on the catch and run. 54 yards. On the run, it's Oliver. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Elliott good on the extra point. And the lead is up to 8.
14. Buccaneers 6. Jake Elliott set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Pushing his way through.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Foster throwing to start the drive. Over the middle, he has a Cockrell. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
60 Maverick.
Complete to Chig
Here we
Okonkwo.
go. Here we go.
First and 10.
They'll look to throw here on first down. That's over the middle into the hands of Noel. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
60, 19 Lions. 18, Pioneer. Go.
Back to throw again. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
He'll try and do this himself.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And that'll get the lead down to 5.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they're going to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities. And I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Now a handoff up the middle. Broughton. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
3rd and 2. Well, looks like they'll move things around here. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
Now they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6.
Let's go now. Let's go.
They'll stay on the ground with Irvin. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Foster work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Here we ready.
On 1st and 10, here's Irvin. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 74 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker.
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bucs have taken the lead here this 3rd quarter. And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane. Irvin. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
70 Timberwolves. Dragon 60. 19 Lions.
And they'll run again. And this time he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Now the Bucs offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2.
Here we go. Here we go.
Viking conversion.
They'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 30-yard line.
And now they'll shift things around.
2nd
and 11.
And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And 3rd and 8 now. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. Looking deep downfield. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. So since that last play got nothing, they'll go ahead and decline the penalty, and that forces a 4th down situation. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this will be taken at the 13. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. Now their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5.
Come on.
Here's a give up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Buffalo 8, 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates.
From the gun on 3rd down, Foster. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Rookie to rookie on the hookup there, and it's a 1st down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. 48 yards rushing for him now. He's only carried the ball 4 times. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Here we go, set. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Warriors, 70, 18, Pioneer. 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Ready, ready?
Looking to throw. Foster. Fighting off the defender. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
A gain of 5 yards brings up 3rd and goal.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
On the set.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal.
60 Eagle, 60 Eagle. 60 Eagle, 60 Eagle. Hey, check that. Street. Go.
They'll try to run with ETN. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one. It might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun. Nix. Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A huge play there for Denver. 48 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Nix. He finds his man. Complete. That's Romero. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos have taken a fourth quarter lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead is up to 5. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35.
Okay, ready?
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. Down the field, he's got Noel. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Jalen Noel, 65 yards. And the Bucs use the defensive breakdown to take the lead away here in the fourth. Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the fourth quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the fourth quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
They'll try and throw for him. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. From the 43, here's 2nd and 6. Nix to the air. Oh, that is incomplete.
That was for the lead right there. They know they're in a position where fortune favors the brave. So they took their shot, but couldn't connect.
Now it's Nix. A short throw to Ingram. That he won't quite make it. He needed 6. He got about 5. Fourth down. They'll go for it. Here's Nix. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Still going inside the 20. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for Buccaneer TD. So they go on fourth down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And can they regroup? That's the question. The pick 6 hurt, no doubt, but this is still a one-score game here in the fourth. He finds his man, complete. It's Romero. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Broncos have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the fourth.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the... And he will get into the end zone for 2. And this game now tied here in the fourth. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on first down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Bronco 80. 18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal. Pioneer. Warrior 70.
Another toe for Etienne. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit. And that's what he did on that play.
And that will be incomplete. The defense did their job. 4th quarter, big stand.
No doubt about it, because the offense has been yelling at him from the sideline. Just do us a favor. Get us the ball back. Give us one more chance to take it downfield. The defense just did them a solid, it appears.
And when they get the ball back, they can kind of play free tie game. They're not behind. So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it, partner. Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That's another gain of 15 on back-to-back plays.
First down. First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
On first and 10, it's ETN. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's second down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second and 7.
Let's go. Bronco 80. Let's go.
A shotgun snap and a give to ETN. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Back to throw. Foster. He'll try and do this himself. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And they'll take it all the way up near the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And the question, can they turn that interception into points? A tie game for the moment in the fourth quarter. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's first and 10. On first down, Broughton. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Here's a second and 7. To throw, here's Nix. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. 20. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
Oh, what a time for a lapse defensively. That turns this game right on its ear. And now, forget about going fast. They might want to take the air out a little bit and force the defense to use some timeouts.
Here's first and goal.
Ready. Ready. Behind. Hey, motion. Hey, Sean, let's go.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Motion.
On second and goal, they'll give it to him again. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This crowd doing all they can. Here's third and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. His second rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And the Broncos have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Buccaneers 31.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
At their own 35-yard line.
This is 1st and 10.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Here's 2nd down.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the 43-yard line.
Back to throw. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
A gain of 15 yards.
Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10.
2-yard line.
65 catch, 65 catch. Ready?
He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. 70 Rangers, 70 Rangers. Come 19, come 19. 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick.
They'll look to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Here now, 3rd down.
Ready? Rocco 80. Panther 11, Panther 11. Ready?
Back to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that's an aggressive shot to take. They definitely need a touchdown, but now you've painted yourself into a corner because it's 4th down. And if you don't get a conversion here, that could be the end of the comeback.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now.
79 Buffalo 18. Ready, ready?
Got to try it here. He's back to throw.
He'll try to do it himself.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over.
Hold on a sec. Ready? Ready?
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
Yeah, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Denver, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Buccaneers, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
you.